students! Today is another wonderful day of learning here on SciTech Talk! I'm Mrs. Melinda Piabella and I will be your teacher for today's episode in Science 8. Working in a laboratory that aims to uncover the tiniest bits of matter that makes up all the things around us must be truly exciting, inspiring and challenging perhaps. To get you started, prepare yourself to turn the atoms inside out. Today, we're going to learn about the subatomic particles. Are you now ready to learn more about science? Great! Before we proceed to our lesson, let me give you the objectives for you to ponder. At the end of this episode, you are expected to identify and describe the three subatomic particles and determine the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in a particular atom. In your grade 7 lesson, we discussed about matter and its classification. There are two classifications of matter: pure substance and mixture. Pure substance can be classified into element and compound. Have you ever wondered what matters are made of? This chair, whiteboard, or even this glass. Don't you know that these are all made up of atoms? What are atoms? Atoms are building blocks that make up matter or everything around us. What you see, hear, smell, or feel are all matter. So again, matter is made up of atoms. Atoms are super tiny particles that you can see them with your naked eye. In this episode, I will take you a closer look at the atom. Are you ready? That's great! How does an atom look like? Example, this circle is an atom, and the dot at the center is the nucleus of the atom. The nucleus is made up of two tiny particles, namely protons and neutrons. Outside the nucleus, you can find the electrons. Protons, neutrons, and electrons are the three subatomic particles of an atom. Now let's discuss these three subatomic particles. The first subatomic particle is proton. It was shown by Eugene Goldstein in 1886.
The presence of positively charged particles in an atom had been first observed in 1886 by Eugene Goldstein based on the concept that atoms are electrically neutral. He performed a series of experiments and observed that when high-voltage electricity passed through a cathode tube fitted with a perforated cathode containing gas at low pressure, a new type of ray was produced from the positive electrode, which moves towards the cathode. These new rays, he termed it as canal rays, positive rays, or anode rays. Also known as proton.
Protons are the positively charged particles found inside the nucleus of an atom. The number of protons in an atom is unique and is equal to the atomic number, which can be found in the upper left side of each element in the periodic table. For example, oxygen. What is its atomic number? If your answer is 8, you've got it right. Next question. How many number of protons does it have? Yes, you're correct. There are 8 protons. Always remember, the number of protons in an atom is referred to as the atomic number of that element. Oxygen has an atomic number of 8. Therefore, it has 8 protons. Let's proceed to the next subatomic particle, the electron. This was discovered by J.J. Thomson in 1897. Do you know that electrons are tiny compared with protons and neutrons? over 1,800 times smaller than either a proton or a neutron. Electrons are the negatively charged particles of an atom which can be found orbiting around the nucleus. All the electrons of an atom create a negative charge that balances the positive charge of the protons in the atomic nucleus. The number of electrons is equal to the number of protons. Just like you, my dear learners, whether you are a girl or a boy, you have equal opportunities in all aspects of life. Let's have an example. Helium has atomic number of 2. How many number of electrons does it have? Yes, you're correct. It has 2 electrons. Remember, the number of proton is the same as the number of electron. And the number of protons in an atom is referred to the atomic number of that element. A helium atom has an atomic number of 2. Therefore, it has 2 protons and 2 electrons. Let's go to the third subatomic particle, the neutron. James Chadwick was behind the discovery of neutron in 1932. In this discussion, you will be able to enhance your mathematical ability by determining the number of neutrons. Are you ready? Very good. Neutrons are the particles in the atom that have a neutral or no charge, which can be found in the nucleus of the atom. They are not negative like electrons, but don't start thinking that they are not important, because they do. Remember, the number of proton is the atomic number of the element. Now, how do we get the number of neutron? Subtracting the number of protons or the atomic number from the atomic mass will give you the calculated number of neutrons in the atom. Did you hear me say atomic mass? How do we find the atomic mass of an element? We can find the atomic mass of an element at the upper right side of each element in the periodic table. To make it easier, you can round it off to the whole number before subtracting. For example, aluminum has an atomic mass of 27. How do we write the symbol for aluminum? Correct! Big letter A and small l. Al stands for aluminum. Aluminum has an atomic mass of 27, and we will write 27 at the upper right side of the symbol. Aluminum has an atomic number of 13, and we will write 13 at the lower right side of the symbol. How many neutrons does it have? Great! It has 14 neutrons. And how did we get 14? Remember guys, 27 is the atomic mass. And 13 is the atomic number. (27) minus 13, we have 14. 14 neutrons. What have you learned from this episode, class? Let's summarize. Remember, all matters are made up of atoms. Atoms are made of 3 subatomic particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons are positively charged, neutrons has no charge, and electrons are negatively charged. Protons and neutrons are located inside the nucleus, while electrons are located outside the nucleus. The number of protons is the atomic number of atom. When you subtract atomic mass and atomic number, you will get the number of neutrons. Did you take note of those important concepts? Very good! Let me now assess your understanding by answering the following questions. Are you ready? Number 1. What are the subatomic particles inside the nucleus of the atom? Ready? Go! The answer is protons and neutrons. You got it right. Number 2. Which of the subatomic particles is positively charged? Ready? Go! The answer is proton. Number 3. How many protons are there if the atomic mass of an atom is 35 and its atomic number is 18? Ready? Go! The answer is... Did you get it? Very good! Were you able to get all the answers correctly? Impressive! Congratulations for a job well done! That's all for today's episode. Keep on watching to widen your knowledge and understanding. Once again, I am Mrs. Melinda Piabelia, your Science Aid teacher for today's episode. See you again next time here on Sci